Hello, accounts people. Time to have a look at a personal tax exam. We're going to have a look at this one. It's one of the Osborne Tutor Zone ones. They're all pretty much of a similar nature. Obviously, the task one in the personal tax. It is the only paper of the mainstream subjects that starts off with a written task. You have to earn 10 marks in about 15 minutes because the whole paper is 100 marks in 150 minutes. Written tasks do that. So the problem is if you start off with this one, you've got to not exceed 20 minutes or you'll feel under pressure on anything else. So 3 options. 1, do it, keeping the time. 2, perhaps bullet point. That's what I'm going to try and do now, and then join it up and make it look nice later. 3, leave it to the end. You would have to try each approach to work out which one is going to be best for you under exam conditions. So we've had a quick look at this one. We're still on there. I'm just watching it. Decided to stop recording on me again. So we've got Sophie. So fairly generalistic one. The problem is you could write a book on this and you could go way over what will be 6 or 7 marks very, very easily and just carry on for an hour writing about it in detail. But you've got to be careful not to get carried away, not to get off the topic. Very easy on this topic, this question in particular. The other one was smaller, you wouldn't go off topic so much because we're talking about a gardener and therefore weather depends on weather and who decides what to needs doing. If you've ever known somebody employ a gardener or being a gardener, you'd know all the conversations. So we've got to answer the questions precisely. They may in the exam be in 3 separate boxes, but we're just doing it as one. So we've got Sophie, and it says, explain the factors in Sophie's situation that may point to self-employment or those that may make her an employee. So here we go. Made redundant, that's nothing to do with it. 2 separate gardeners, there we are, first point. Oops. Could be either, plenty of people, or both. She would have to have many more clients wants to be definite self. If you had 10 gardens you worked on, there's no argument about it. That's the first bit. Okay, going through it systematically. Each for a couple of days a week. Agreeing what needs doing. It's pretty much the same. Have to be in full control or be able to get others to help to be self-employed. Spell that right. And on the same topic, she only follows orders. She could be employed. And obviously she's got 2 gardens. The one, we're only really talking about the one where she's supposedly the employee. Own tools, that's quite important. Self. Wouldn't stop her Okay, if you want to add more to this, I'm going to stick down some bullet points. Own tools. If you use the lawnmower that was there, that's a bit different for a gardener. Perfectly normal thing to do. In terms of registering, we'll worry about that later. I suppose we could actually, no, we better do the other bit first because it's not specifically asking for that. But we would obviously give her a little bit of advice on that. We know she can't ignore the other income. It's 2 days a week. It's going to be over the threshold, so not worried about that one. So we could ask, have you been off contract, pay, roll, pay, minimum hours, what else? So yeah, contract, payroll, holiday pay, the one who wants to be an employer. That part of the work could be employed. And there we are. Back to that, just having a quick check what it looks like on screen. Offer the contract, payroll, anything like that. For this part of the work could be employed. Don't know how that can get bigger. If not, she's most likely self-employed. And obviously the contract is a contract of service. You could put that wording in versus contract for services. But it would, she might be working for somebody who's set up, got other people they employ directly, so she's just on the payroll list quite easy. We haven't got the information in there. So those are the question that we would ask, and it's fairly routine questions. There are lots of case law and lots of problems with this in the past. They're easy to look up the case law. In fact, we could actually just put a nice little sentence in. Yeah, may end up paying a bit less national insurance. Doesn't guarantee it because of the way the national insurance system works. So it might be both. Some security. Especially it's raining and we're in the UK, so it's going to happen a lot and the ground's too soggy to do anything to. That's okay, we can do that one. Make sure you're answering the question, don't divert too much. That's almost getting into diverting. However, that was enough just to show a bit of general knowledge. What does she want to be as well? What are the hours? I'm actually minimum. Well, we've got minimum hours. They wouldn't necessarily be fixed with gardening anyway. So there is no way. That does not harm showing a little bit of extra knowledge. So that making sure it didn't clock out. ignored as 2 days per week pretty well over the employment of £1,000. So it's well over that. So she's got to definitely got to register as self-employed. Got until the 5th October after the end to no harm in showing a bit of extra knowledge, although I'm not sure that's necessarily to answer the answer. But she's well over the employment age. But we put the number in to show the fact that obviously it's going to be over £1,000 2 days per week. And that's pretty much in. We can come back to this and we can turn it into a proper nice full answer later. If you look at the sort of publishers one, there's all sorts of bits and pieces in here. We could write a book. So let's have a quick look. No answer. And you can see nice sentences, bullet points. Won't necessarily be able to do that under exam conditions. I wouldn't recommend even trying sometimes. It's got those same points in. I haven't really missed anything out. You could get a lot more. I've been putting obviously advisor accordingly. If she doesn't register or whatever, then you refuse to act to it. Again, that's slightly off the topic, but it's showing some good knowledge about the situation of self-employment, so an examiner would like it. And that's the answer for the next little bit that we're going to have a look at. So back to our spreadsheet version. Just quickly go on this one. And back on the spreadsheet bit. So this one needs reference material because you might know the answer fairly well by the time you take the exam, but there's useful stuff in the reference material. Whereas the only reference material stuff for self-employment is the £1,000 allowance, and it's even not clear. It doesn't really explain what it is. So let's have a look. See, we've got to work out whether Davina using the right test is a UK resident or not. She's employed, got a job, UK and Belgium, doesn't actually say where the company is registered or where she's paid, doesn't have a house in the UK, stays in a hotel, house in Belgium where she lives when she's working there. Okay, so she has in the past been a UK resident because she spent enough time, more than the 90 days. 65 days in the current year is under 90. Rest of the in Belgium, so the majority of the time she's abroad working in Belgium where she lives. So you would expect the answer to be no, she isn't a resident, but we've got to go by the tests properly. So again, let's have a quick look. We need to have a look at the reference material. Have I got it open somewhere? I did have it open. Back to the answer. Right, okay, now it's open. So remember, this is on screen in the exam. You have to look at it because part of the preparation is knowing what's in it and what isn't in it. This bit is fairly towards the front. It's not the first bit. It's the sort of deemed domicile. Well, it's residents we're interested in. The question's not about domicile. So it's not this bit, it's about this bit. And these are the tests we've got to do. So, okay, automatically not resident. Doesn't beat that. She's more than 16 days. Work abroad, less than 190 days, no more than 30. So the automatically not resident test is not met. There we are. So that's a start. I'll type that in, and then we need to go back to this. So no point flipping. She's again, more detail if you've got the time, just to make sure. Look at the marks, probably only 3 or 4 marks, doesn't necessarily need the detail. I'm going to type in, whilst you can't see it, like the so automatically none. Automatic resident test. So not enough days in the UK. Right, back to the important stuff. And then so it's on ties. Okay, so now I'll start. I'll just go back to sharing the spreadsheet a bit. So constant reference and re-reference, going back to it. I'll just noticed auto. Yeah, he's in the wrong place. It wasn't far out. Right. So again, we could add a bit more detail to that. Get the bullet points in. 10 minutes at the end. Oh, I'll just put a little bit more in just to make sure I'm going to get the marks. This means it is dependent on ties because she has been resident before. She needs 3 or more ties. The only ties we know of are her work. And it's going to flip. Hang on, get the rules out. How many days? UK residents in one of the previous 3 ties, he spent 91 to 120. Be precise about it. And she spent other work and being previously resident. So last bit. So unless there are more ties, she is non-resident for the tax year 2024 to 2025. And there we are. Bullet points. Okay, just like the other answers, we can go over back to it, improve it. I'll quickly show you the publisher's answers. It's pretty much the same thing, actually. There's not much into this one. Hang on, I've got to go into the reference material just to recap the reference material. So 1 or more of the previous years, 3 ties, 46 to 90 days. And then somewhere the answers disappeared. Mesh control failing. You can have a look at the publisher's answers. I'm going to say it's one that's really, really very straightforward. Doesn't make the automatic, again, less than 180 bits that you could add in later. Got the important bit, and she's not automatically resident because of the 16 days. It's only going to be more than 16 days. Doesn't work full time overseas. So neither automatic test is met. 3 UK ties to be a resident because of her 46 to 90 days. So this is in the information. Get the basics in, move on, looking at the time, how long have we spent on this, get on with another answer. Note, you can come back, you can always improve a written answer with anything relevant. And the most important advice anybody will ever give you on a written task One, earn the marks. If it's only 3 marks, we're well past the 3 marks, and we're well past the 6 or 7 on the first part of it. And the second one is put anything relevant that you can think of in there, and make life easier for the examiner to go tick here, have the marks. And make sure you answer the question. Davina is not there for a UK resident, and what would actually make her tax situation clearer.